Alright, bro. Give me a second. There we go. There we go. Going back to playing this test server because the free stuff we can get. And I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it, bros. It truly is, because when you add it up at the end of the day, alright, bros. Still congested over the flu I've had. Been having problems around my ribs. It's my back and then my lungs breathing, but that's where I was sick. Anyway, this is not a bad plus. Let me go back here because we're going to play the store track out of it because it's pretty easy. And not to lie, it's real easy. A lot of this you can get during it. This one's, we got complete 4 missions. I think as it started, I guess it has available in 1 hour. So, but anyway, that's available in 7. These you don't really get keep anyway. But like 500 down that one. That's little, just little stuff, dudes. And one of these got 1,600 of them. And I think we might have done already. I guess we have. We done. But there's still a few more to be got. There's some things we got out of it. And that store track seems to be pretty fun as well. We can do these. I mean, you'll get this, these rewards here if you do them. And they're part of the one thing. I'll be honest, bros. I've been looking for quite a bit for something to play. I haven't found it. Just haven't found it. I've bought a few games. I bought Borderlands 3. It sucks. I mean, in all honesty, Borderlands 3 sucks ass, bro. It really sucks. It's got gay themes and bullshit like that in it. And I don't like that shit, man. I mean, I'm going to throw it out there and be honest. I don't like it. I just don't. I've been buying older games. All the older games, I've played them anyway, so I was half burnt out on them anyhow. I mean, no Call of Duty coming out on the 25th, but to be honest, I'm really not interested in that either. That's, I'm in search for something to play, dudes. I mean, this one here, it's okay, but I mean, they're push for bread, there pisses you off. I mean, in all honesty. Truly does. Their greed pushes you to the point, man. You don't really want to damn do anything with these guys. They're crappy. I mean, nothing's nothing anymore. You want any extra? You'll play this test server. You don't play this test server, you won't get no extra, period. They operators lying around saying, oh, it's free to play, man. If you don't buy premium and try to and have at least a couple premium ships to farm with credits, and then they haven't had no content in the game and forever. That's why I guess I like this pretty good, because at least it's new content, you know. And that's more than they give in a long damn time, bro. I mean, that's honesty about things when it comes to it. That's a lot more than they've done in a long time, bro. They haven't. They've been crappy. They've pushed for money. And I've honestly said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't support Ukraine whatsoever. I don't. And they're a part of that deal, and it's hard for me to want to invest money into them, knowing where it's going. I do not support that. I'm honestly totally against it. And all true honesty, I'm totally against it. I think that end of the day that the United States needs to let Europe handle that, not us. In all honesty, I feel we have nothing in it, and we should honestly stay the hell out of it. That's a European deal that Europe should honestly take care of theirself. The United States should not be involved in it, because all we'll do is cause World War fucking III for being involved in it. And that is the truth, man. Oh, we got, see, now, kind of might have went the wrong way here. And I truly believe that, bros. I think at the end of the day, we need to stay the hell out of that war.
We have destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Truly, we do. Well, come on, you salvo. I mean, really, we should. We have no rights to be in it. That is a European thing, and I think at the end of the day, Europe should take care of it. That should be up to England and their allies. We have nothing in that. We should stay the hell out of that. And that's just some facts, bro. I mean, now, honestly, I don't really give a shit if you agree with me or not, because at the end of the day, we're pumping money out there to something Joe Biden had did before Trump became president. And that's the facts that we are. So you tell me, should we be in it? Hell no, we should not be in it. If you say we do, you're just a friggin' liar. Well, we pumped it. Hey, we got natural disasters right now here in the United States that they have funneled trillions of dollars into friggin' illegal immigrants. Funneled it into them. And now we got people in North Carolina and Florida and Tennessee and South Carolina that need our help tremendously from our government. And what's Joe Biden said? We got you back. Then they're saying Donald Trump's lying that that it's false information he's giving out. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. They did it. They did it. I don't care a bit. I've seen the video footage of it where Kareem come out and was specifically on the friggin' stage at the White House briefing saying they had did it, and they considered it a natural disaster that it had happened. So they need to come off of that bullshit now, should they? I mean, in all honesty, I wouldn't think they should come off with it when they know damn good and well they did it. So no, bro, I don't see it. And this, like I said, this bullshit with Ukraine, that they've did all the crap they've did, and that I mean, it's obvious when all that started coming out on Biden and his son that they had did that crap. I got you, bro. I got you, slow ham. That they had did that. So no, dude, we should not be giving them a friggin' penny, should we? No, sir, we should not. I do not believe for one damn second, hang on there, bros, that we have any rights in that. That's my biggest purpose of it. We funneled out billions of dollars to Ukraine for a war that, let's just be honest, we ever damn well know without a doubt they can never win it. There's no damn way they'll ever beat Russia of anything. None whatsoever. So, and you're honestly trying to get me to buy this pony show that we should keep funding this bullshit. I don't buy it, bro. I really don't, and that's just my honest feelings of it. We have our own people to worry about. We have our own country to worry about. We are not able to sustain this. I am for mass deportation. I am voting Republican completely across the board, bros. And I mean that. I'm not just saying that. I wholeheartedly mean that. But I'm voting Republican. Clean across the board, my friend. Because I have no friggin' intentions of seeing any more Democrats get into power, bro. Whatsoever. That's the one thing we need to do is take them out of power. Period. Because their shenanigans and their bullshit have costed us way too much, man. Way too much. And we need to make this crap shit show stop. And I don't care what liberal son of a gun comes in and says whatever at the end of the day. And I mean honestly and truly, at the end of the day, we do not need to support this crap whatsoever. We don't. No, we don't. We don't need to. We need to put a stop to it. You tell me this. Why are we the only country funding Ukraine? Very little has been given by the EU to them whatsoever. What's this crap going on, bros? And I do mean crap going on. It's crap. It's bullshit. And we're letting it go, bro. Any realistic world, any damn realistic world, there's no world we're living in that Ukraine's ever gonna win a war against Russia whatsoever, dudes, whatsoever. And if you say they're going to, man, you smoking that happy shit, because they can't win it. And we all know this, bros. We know they can't win, man. But nonetheless, you expect the U.S. to funnel money in this bullshit, knowing damn good and well that they're not going to win. The hell's wrong with you people? The best thing they could do is come to a solution, get on the bargaining board with Putin. Unless Europe wants another war. And if Europe wants another war, the United States don't want to be involved in it. Why the hell do you think we're going to get Trump back in office? We don't want involved in this bullshit. We know we're being lied to, dudes. I mean, we know this. Wholeheartedly, we know we're being lied to by our damn government. Bunch of damn Democrats that ain't worth a shit. These Democrats are shitty scum. Shitty scum. And something needs done with them, bros. That's fact. That's a wholehearted fact. That these Democrats, something needs done with them, bros. That's fact about that, bros. Anywhere you don't see it that much in the news now, and you know why you don't? Zelensky had enough fucking nerve to come here and pick a political party to politic for. That says a lot, man. That honestly, that says a whole hell of a lot. That he would come here to the United States. Any other government would have kept their mouth shut and waited to see who the hell the winner was going to be. But no, not Zelensky, man. He picks the Democrat Party. The one's been funneling him all the money. I've looked and looked and looked, bros, and at the end of the day, I cannot honestly find anything that makes me want to support that fucking war. Period. Period, bros. I cannot find anything that honestly wants me to support it. Not that I love Russia or anything of the sort. Has nothing to do with that. It has nothing, honestly, to do with it. I just don't want no more of our money leaving the U.S., knowing damn good and well that we have no right to be doing it, dudes. I mean, we don't. We're crazy. We're honestly crazy for letting them do this crap. That here it is, we have money going out of this country, and our country is hurting. But they keep sending the money out of the country, even though the country's hurting. sitting there reading some of this world news here, dudes. Let's see this one. We'll listen to this one, bros.
Donald Trump, the same Republican presidential candidate who declared he'd be a dictator for one day, said
bullshit.
that CBS News should lose a broadcasting license after its 60 Minutes program interviewed his opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris. Despite the fact that the federal government does not issue licenses for television networks like CBS, Trump raged on Truth Social over an edited version of an exchange between Harris and correspondent Bill Whitaker about Israel that aired on Monday. Interviews are often shortened in order to fit the time allotted for the broadcast, and this is standard practice for networks with scheduled programs. Her real answer was crazy or dumb, so they actually replaced it with another answer in order to save her or, at least, make her look better, Trump claimed in a Truth Social post on Thursday morning. In another lamentation, posted to X, Trump accused CBS of creating the greatest fraud in broadcast history and said the network should lose its license and it should be bid out to the highest bidder. He continued to fixate on Harris's CBS interview during a speech in Detroit on Thursday afternoon and said it would go down as the single biggest scandal in broadcast history. In response to Trump's repeated calls to revoke the network's license for his own political gain, Federal Communications Commission Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel released a statement rebuking the former president's attacks as threats against free speech. As I've said before, the First Amendment is a cornerstone of our democracy, said Rosenworcel. The FCC does not and will not revoke licenses for broadcast stations simply because a political candidate disagrees with or dislikes content or coverage. Trump's rantings arrive after he backed out of a planned 60 Minutes interview earlier this week. CBS said he refused to do the scheduled interview because he would be fact-checked, which his campaign team called unprecedented, and because Trump claimed the network owes him an apology for an interview Lesley Stahl conducted in 2020. As CBS stated, 60 Minutes fact-checks every story it broadcasts. After Harris dominated Trump in a debate in September, the former president has refused a rematch. CBS noted that the Monday night election special may have been the last opportunity between now and Election Day for a national audience to hear from both candidates on a range of issues. The vice president, meanwhile, has continued to appear for scheduled interviews, including with radio host Howard Stern, The View, and Stephen Colbert on The Late Show. In a series of unhinged temper tantrums during rally appearances in Pennsylvania on Wednesday, Trump railed against Stern and The View host Whoopi Goldberg for interviewing his opponent. I do believe that this is an election that is about strength versus weakness, Harris said when speaking to Stern on Tuesday. And weakness, she continued, as projected by someone who puts himself in front of the American people and does not have the strength to stand in defense of their needs, their dreams, their desires. More from Rolling Stone. Whoopi Goldberg strikes back at Donald Trump. How dumb are you? Trump campaign is blowing off presidential transitional deadlines windmills and Whoopi Goldberg, Trump's unhinged rally rants in Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
A Republican delegate resigned Tuesday evening during a special session of the West Virginia legislature. Delegate Paul Espinoza, who represents the state's 98th district in Jefferson County, lost his primary run for a Senate seat earlier this year. State records show Espinoza accepted an appointment to the West Virginia Racing Commission Tuesday. The group oversees thoroughbred horse and greyhound dog racing in the state. Espinoza has worked multiple committees during his time in the West Virginia House, including finance, banking and insurance, and technology and infrastructure.
I mean, that piece we just listened to about Trump, that needs fact checks for all the damn lies that's in it. So I don't like MSNBC, don't like CBS, don't like ABC, don't like none of them simply because they will not tell the truth whatsoever. It's always spent in a Democratic way. Instead of telling the truth and not taking a side like the reporters used to, it's always got to be spun that the Republicans are the bad guys. I want to hear this one, because this one would be easy to know.
The final inflation report has been released ahead of the November elections. Here's how much prices have risen since President Joe Biden entered office. The Consumer Price Index for September was released Thursday. It showed that inflation was 2.4% for the year ending in the month, nearing the Federal Reserve's 2% goal. Despite recent declines, inflation is still the number one concern on voters' minds, given the years of cumulative price growth. Overall, inflation gauged by the Consumer Price Index has risen nearly 20% since January 2021, when Biden became president. However, cumulative inflation has been worse or less than that, depending on the good or service in question, and price growth is playing a major role in the contest between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. Food. Food is perhaps the good voters have most viscerally experienced inflation with. Families eat every day and go to the grocery store regularly, so they are closely attuned to how much or little groceries cost. That is why the Trump campaign has taken pains to highlight just how much prices of various food items have gone up under Biden. Since January 2021, grocery prices have, on average, risen by 21.6%, while food at restaurants now costs nearly 24% more than it did then. Ground beef is a whopping 43% more costly than before Biden, while chicken breasts have experienced 16.7% inflation. Meanwhile, fruit and vegetable prices have risen more than 14%. Milk prices are up 16%. Cereal and bakery products are nearly 26% pricier. Sugar and sweets are up 24%. And butter prices are now more than 37% higher than in January 2021. Energy prices, while volatile because of a variety of factors, have also risen under Biden. Gas prices spiked in mid-2022 during the worst of the inflationary bout and have since declined, but are still more than 38% higher. The price of fuel oil is also up 31%. Electricity prices have also risen. They have risen by 3.7% over the past year, tracking higher than overall inflation. However, since January 2021, the cost of powering a home has become increasingly expensive. Electricity prices have risen more than 28% since Biden entered office. Consumer goods. Household furnishings are 15.8% more costly than January 2021. Clothing and apparel prices have risen nearly 12%. New cars cost about 18.8% more, and the value of used cars has inflated more than 13%. In some good news, though, video and audio products, such as televisions, have actually become more than 11% cheaper in the past few years. Services. Housing prices have also caused consumers hardship. According to the CPI, shelter costs across the board have risen by 23% under Biden, and average rent prices have risen by about the same amount. Medical care services have become 8.5% more costly, while transportation services, which include things such as auto insurance and airline fares, have skyrocketed more than 40% in just a few years. Recreation services prices, such as subscriptions to streaming services, cable, and movie tickets, have increased nearly 16% under the Biden administration. Click here to read more from the Washington Examiner. While inflation has been falling and is nearing the Fed's 2% level, cumulative inflation has been a major talking point from Republicans and Trump, who has used it as a cudgel to attack Biden and now Harris, for the sticker shock voters are now feeling. Because of inflation, the Fed has also been forced to raise interest rates to their highest level since the turn of the century, making things such as taking out auto loans more expensive and driving up mortgage rates to the point where home ownership is out of reach for many people in the United States.
No shit, man. No shit. That's what I'm saying, man. Now, they gotta compete against their own damn self of what they did to the economy. And can they? Can they really? You know, I honestly don't think so. People don't forget. These are things we're living with every day, bros. These are every friggin' day occurrences to us that we're living with. That the U.S. that Biden and Harris have caused. So there's no honestly getting around what they've caused. There's not, man. And if you say there are, you're a lunatic. See that's just it. These liberals, these rich liberals and shit, they don't care about the prices. But you take the middle class and the poor, well, they do. They care highly about how the prices have risen. So, what do you think is going to happen when the election comes? Well, that's easy to say, bro. They're absolutely going to put a stop to it. Period. It's like this, dudes. If you cannot, I'm going through here to get me some Skittles. If they were going to do that, well, do anything to help us, which they're not, in all honesty. They would have tried to lower the inflation, and they would have stopped sending all this damn money out of the country that they didn't, would not even think about it, have stopped doing it, kept doing it, knowing damn good and well they was pissing everybody off. Moved the migrants in, and I'm begging them not to. People was literally begged the U.S. government not to do what they did with the damn migrants, but they did it anyway. And you have this as a fucking excuse for what they've done. And do you honestly think that wait a minute, oh shit, that people are just going to let them buy with us? No, sir. No, sir. I would say hell no, they're not. I would honestly say this is going to be the biggest sweep you ever did see on Democrats. Really. I look for this to be the biggest sweep we have ever laid eyes on when it's come to Democrats. Simply because, bro, the people are genuinely sick and freaking tired of it. I say give Israel every penny to ask for. I truly do. I have no problem with the way we fund Israel. My biggest problem is what the U.S. is doing when it comes to Ukraine. I mean, honestly.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Attention. Enemy reinforcements detected approaching.
This shit with Ukraine needs to stop. And these migrants do absolutely need to board them. We cannot afford this. Period. We cannot afford it. When you got two major hurricanes that went through the United States, and the United States government is lying like they are, saying that Trump is lying on them. Trump's not lying on them, bro. So I come out here a while ago finding that just so I could show it to you. That they are absolutely lying about this crap. That's the part they're lying about. And we're letting them, well, it's not me. You can bet your ass my state will vote totally Republican. We're tired of the shit. We know we got fucked over back with Barack Obama, bros. And we haven't got over it either. Those are the facts. Probably never will either. Not to lie to you.
Enemy battleship. Enemy cruiser detected. We have sunk an enemy destroyer.
Every lost control point brings us closer to defeat.
Enemy destroyer.
I mean, my state will probably never get over that betrayal. That's why we got rid of
Alert.
Joe Manchin, my friends.
Of combustion. Problem solved, sir.
Do not lie. That's the exact reason his ass left here. But he wasn't dumb. They had asked him, was he going to run? He said, well, yeah, I'm going to run. Absolutely.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
This old dog don't run a hunt, he can't win. When he come back to the state and he got to talking to people, he realized he wasn't gonna, he stood no chance of winning. I mean, now honestly, he realized he stood no chance whatsoever to win period when it comes to
There is an indication of combustion. Enemy battleship sighted. Enemy cruiser foundered. Enemy cruiser detected.
Building defenses activated, but we've lost some structures.
You've achieved a tactical victory, but your ultimate failure is inevitable. We are born.
so they dropped out. Period. I mean, he dropped out. Why wouldn't he? Should have. So he took over. Robert C. Byrd's seat. We just voted him in. As a special delegate, whatever. We let him keep it. He was a good governor. Decent, anyway. Okay. We ended up getting old Ray Tomlin for a fucking governor. He was a piece of shit. He's the one that stood right back with Manchin and fucked us over with Obama. Then we got Jim Justice. That has did really good for the state. He really has. And all in all, and all these bullshit and all the shit, which I think's political attacks on him, I really do. He just did good for the state. So yeah, we're going to send him to the Senate. You just had a seat flopped from the Senate right there. Well, it went from Democrat to Republican. This I will guarantee you, Jim Justice will be the senator for the state of West Virginia. Okay, bros. We lost a seat there. All this bullshit they're hollering, these Republicans are fighting amongst each other and shit. No, they're not. They're weeding the bad out. You got people like Liz Cheney and these motherfuckers. She's not a Republican. She's a goddamn Democrat. She will lose her seat. That I will guarantee. She's not up for election this time. They never have them all up for election at once, bros, because you'd be getting so many new faces and shit in Congress and Senate that it'd be so you have your primary. That's what this is, primary with presidential. Then you have your midterms. That's when you have other governor races normally with primary. And a lot of things, okay? We had a bunch of dumbasses run for governor and shit this time. I mean, we honestly did, and I mean, they were dummies. We had Chris Miller. That was a pure fucking liberal, and you could tell he was, but he was hiding behind. He was hiding behind the. He was hiding behind trying to say he was just a moderate Democrat, moderate Republican, and it was honestly easy to see he is a liberal, flat out liberal, all the way, bro. Now don't get me wrong, man. I was a Democrat, and I was for years, a long time, because. And I even voted for Bill Clinton, believe that shit or not. I did, dudes. I no need to lie about it. I voted for Clinton twice. I didn't see a better candidate. He got in. I tell you about Clinton. He went on Arsenio Hall. He played his saxophone. He's likable. He was. If I like somebody, I can look over some of their political views. Well, he never come out and said he'd ever attacked the coal business. Wait a minute, sir, bros. And he didn't. I will give him that. He did, but it was strip mining. And in all honesty, I've never been all that much for strip mining anyway, because end of the day, if you're going to do it in the housing projects and stuff of that nature, yeah. To do it in the manner it's done, I'm not for it. Coal mining, yes. Deep mines, yes. If a strip job's done right, yes.
Having is not so pleasing after all.
We've just had a lot of companies come in there.
For the collective, I am the beginning, the end, the one who is.
And also, they're not doing right. In all honesty.
Defend the buildings. Hold the line.
But you can't hold that against West Virginians.
Enemy force
we got work and eat as well. And that's my honest opinion of it.
Disable enemy ships.
Do I think climate is changing? Yes, I do. Do I think it's man to do with it? But yeah. I think these nuclear bombs that they set off has quite a bit to do with it as well. I truly do.
Commander, collecting scrap will grant your
They put that shit off, never knowing the consequences that was going to be. They truly didn't. And to say it hasn't affected the world, it has. Globally. Okay, and I think that that the Earth's not changing, it's just going through its cycles. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I truly do. I think that the Earth is going through its motions, and that end of the day, that you have to account for that, my friend. And that's honesty. Honesty. It's not one thing, it's numerous things. But to try to deny that some of this stuff is not man-made and stuff is a total lie, and we got to get off that. But because we do have a problem. Quite a big problem. And without recognizing that and then admitting it and saying, oh, this, but I think that one country is not going to be the cure. We can't let India, China, all these produce and use coal and us stop and think that, and we got some of the best coal emissions in the world. That's a fact, because we've dealt with it. And we have. Earth emissions in the U.S. have dropped tremendously. The rest of the world hasn't. So, and I mean, and I'm not saying global warming's not a thing. I'm not saying it's the thing. It's a scare tactic as well. It is. Most scientists say that it's the Earth changing on its own. But you do have to admit, these man-made things do have to have something to do with it. I mean, I would honestly think
enemy reinforcements detected approaching.
that they have. And to say otherwise is a lie. I mean, we can't sit and lie and say that we've not affected the world. Look at this dam they built in China. That absolutely has slowed the rotation of the Earth. They begged them not to build it. They built it anyway. And the first war that China ever causes is they attack China. They'll bust that damn dam. Absolutely, well, I would. That'd be my first damn target. And there's no doubt, brothers, we're going to have World War III. No doubt. None in my mind that we are not going to have World War III, because we are. That is a fact. Whether you like it, I like it, or whatever, we are. And it's going to happen. You got China that absolutely released one of the world's biggest plagues Don't you really think there's going to be consequences for it, dudes? I mean, honestly. I'm this old country boy, and I know that they're going to be, bros. I mean, honestly.
Attention. Enemy reinforcements detected approaching.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
I mean, really, I'm just old country boy, and I got enough sense to know this is going to go down. That's bad, we're going to get rammed. This little bitch is going to take us out.
The water levels inside the vessel are increasing. Enemy destroyer foundered. Problem solved, sir.
But, we got lucky there. Had been anything bigger than a damn destroyer, we'd have probably got dug out. But, end of the day, they're not going to, they're not going to survive it there, big damn.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
China is going to attack Taiwan. China does have an open policy that they plan on taking over the Asian continent. Now, bros, we can't sit back and watch that shit happen. I mean, honestly, no, too honestly, we can't do that. And we can't sit back and let these fuckers do Israel the way they are either, bro. I mean, honestly, that's a big hell no, Captain Jones.
Alert. There is an indication of combustion. Problem solved, sir.
So we're gonna have another war in the Middle East.
Battleship foundered.
So we're gonna have World War Z. And Biden and the powers to be has brought it on. You know why other countries talk shit about Trump? Because they don't want him to be president, because they're fucking scared of him. Trump ain't looking for war. But he will defend this country. And they know it. Trump has every intentions to bring manufacturing and trade back to the U.S. Something that should have never left. Now, when Trump does that, we get back to what we used to be. We're not going to have worry. It's been the Democrats trying to make it a global thing that they can rule the world, bros. You think the people of the United States really want that, bros? We don't want that. We want people to come to the country. We want new faces. We want loyal Americans. We want you to come in and report the entry. We want you to do things right. We want you to show that you're not a bad person. You want to come here and live and be a part of the U.S. Not come here and rape and kill our women and sell drugs. And there are plenty of people that want to. And I'm all for it, bro. But the moment you go to that border and you cross it illegally, your chances is over with and should never have any others. Good or bad intentions, you know better. Whatever country will just let you jump in like it they want. A year ago, England was done. They put a damn stop to it because they just got overrun. Now look, man. Want to know what somebody's about and shit. You know that's Tim Otis, you asshole. It's not bad.
Building defenses activated. The enemy won't be able to capture the structures.
You've achieved a tactical victory, but you're...
That's not a bad thing, boys.
We are poor.
Really isn't. It's like this. Before you go pointing fingers there and shit, bro. Look at it on their behalf. Do you want people coming to your country don't know who the hell they are or their intentions? But you do know they spent thousands of dollars to make sure that they cross into the country unknown. Give you something to think about there, bro. Why do the Democrats want all these illegals in here knowing damn good and well that legally they can't vote, but they do set it up to they can? And this time, you're going to have to show your ID and shit. So, they're not going to be able to vote. So, this time around, in all honesty and fairness, they're not going to be able to rig it like they did with Joe Biden. I've always said, I said to the day, Joe Biden did not win. He did not win. I don't give a shit. He did not win. They went to the old folks' homes. They rigged some voting machines. They did. All this is proven. You can prove this. He lied to the college kids. They're wise to them now on that bill and everything. And what are they going to do? But maybe at least look like she got a chance to win 2 cheating or not. And I'll ask you, that chance don't even look like it's nowhere in sight. I'll play you a few things here we can sit and listen to that it makes you realize that Listen to her interview of
It's
60
about
Minutes.
saying that when you invest in small businesses, you
Now listen.
invest in the middle class. My plan.
Now listen to her. This word salad she's got going there. I don't even know if you call it a word salad. It's a word puke. But listen.
Is about saying that when you invest in small businesses, you invest in the middle class, and you strengthen America's economy. Small businesses are part of the backbone of America's economy.
But pardon me, Madam Vice President, the question was, how are you going to pay for it?
Finally, we have some media members pushing back on Kamala Harris when she just gives talking points. It's Sean Daniel here, and in this video we're going to look at the 60-minute interview, which is being teased right now because it's going to be released tonight. A 60-minute interview which was offered to the Harris campaign and was offered to the
But
Trump
they also edited a lot of the
Trump,
questions because she
declined to do a 60-minute special. Kamala Harris accepted, and they're not giving her softball answers. She's continuing with this rhetoric about middle class, middle class, middle class, and we're going to break down some of the illogic behind her vague answers and how she's going to serve the middle class, how she's going to serve small businesses. Let's get into it.
But pardon me, Madam Vice President, the question was, how are you going to pay for it?
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest
tax the
among us
rich.
who can afford it
It's
pay
already
their
paying more
taxes.
taxes than anyone
It
else.
is not right that teachers and
Oh.
nurses and firefighters are paying a higher tax rate than billionaires and the biggest corporations.
But-
And I plan on making that fair.
But we're dealing with the real world here.
But the real world includes...
How are you going to get this through Congress?
You know, when you talk quietly with a lot of folks in Congress, they know exactly what I'm talking about because their constituents know exactly what I'm talking about. Their constituents are those firefighters and teachers and nurses.
First point of logic. We know these politicians, especially Kamala Harris, who is not a made woman financially like Donald Trump, where the money deals, the corrupt deals don't really play a temptation to him. At least logically they shouldn't. Versus someone like her who's not really made. She's going to want to make as much money as she can, as much power as she can, while she's in office, because her sole career, her sole way of taking care of herself is through politics. So therefore, why would she actually be for a plan that would take more money away from millionaires and billionaires and put it in the hands of the middle class? That's taking money
not.
away from her. That's the first thing. We know that's not true. Second of all, we're going to get into what she claims about these federal taxes and how taking money away from the millionaires and putting it in the middle class, and that people are not getting taxed their fair share. We're going to break that down with some different statistics and stats that we have right here. Statistics, stats, same thing. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Before we do that, people in America can see through the BS, probably like yourself. Because first of all, look, just the like to dislike ratio already. Now that's not an indicator of everything, okay? But it does show me just how many people are aware of her BS. Like the top comment right here. She didn't seem to actually answer the question. Did she just say, you asked the question I don't want to answer, so let me give you the question that I'd like to answer? She's not answering the question.
No,
She
she's
looks like she
not.
doesn't want to be there. I forgot the question after she started rambling. She doesn't really answer the question. How are you going to pay for it? And then she gives these talking points, which is a similar thing we saw in her first interview as the 2024 candidate. We're just going to touch on the beginning here before we get into the stats that showcase the illogic of what she is claiming and the dangerous road in which Kamala Harris wants to lead this nation. At least her talking point during the campaign is that if she got in power, she obviously would not follow through on that.
You just laid out your economic vision for the future. Yeah. But still, there are lots of Americans who don't see themselves in your plans. For those who say these policies aren't for me, what do you say to them?
Well, if you are hardworking, if you have
Another word puke, yeah.
the dreams and the ambitions and the aspirations of What I believe you do, you're in my plan. You know, I have to tell you, I really love and am so energized by what I know to be the spirit and character of the American people. We have ambition, we have aspirations, we have dreams. We can see what's possible. We have an incredible work ethic. But not everyone has the access to the opportunities that allow them to achieve those things. But we don't lack for those things. But not everyone, you know, gets handed stuff on a silver platter. And so my vision for the economy, I call it an opportunity economy, is about making sure that
Opportunity economy.
wherever they
Well,
start,
what have you
wherever
done in
they
the past 4 years?
have
Throw that
the
on
ability
us.
to actually achieve those dreams and those ambitions, which include from middle class families.
Here we go.
Being able to know that their hard work allows them to get ahead, right?
How?
I think we can't and we shouldn't aspire to have an economy that just allows people to get by. People want to do more than just get by. They want to get ahead. And I come from the middle class. Look, my mother raised my sister and me. She worked hard.
Works at
She
McDonald's,
saved up.
huh?
By the time I was a teenager, she was able to buy our first home. And
That was a minute and a half, and we still have no answer on the question. What is your economic plan? How do Americans fit into it? She just keeps going on this middle class, middle class, middle class. It's the same avoiding tactic that she showed in this 60-minute clip that we just saw. Now let's see how long she goes. I'm just gonna press forward. Oh, finally, okay.
Over the last 4 years, there have been tremendous economic wins, and you've just laid out a big plan. But still, polling shows
Just laid out a big plan. What big plan did she lay out? She just gave out vague stuff about middle class and opportunity, whatever. Now let's go back. I just want you to see that that is what she continually promotes, which most of you probably do know. Hopefully you know even more now, is this vague thing, and people are seeing through it. Now her claim about the middle class paying more, teachers paying more than millionaires and billionaires. Let's break that down.
so I'm going to make sure that the richest among us who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes. It is not right that teachers and nurses and firefighters are paying a higher tax rate
They are
than
not.
billionaires and the biggest corporations. And I plan
So how are you going to
on
pay
making
for that? First of all,
fair.
But we're
The rundown
Is-
is out.
You know,
tax the wealthy people because they're not properly being taxed. First of all, federal income tax in the United States. Okay. People over $500,000 in personal income pay 37% in personal income tax. Right? If you have a median income in America, probably about $50,000, $60,000, maybe $50,000, you pay 22% in personal income tax, okay? Now,
So when they say that, dude, it's a laugh.
tax, that these corporate taxes, these billionaires and millionaires who own corporations, that they don't pay tax. Well, in the U.S., the federal corporate tax rate is a flat rate of 21% if you have a corporation. States may also impose separate corporate taxes on companies. Those state taxes for these millionaires and billionaires that have companies, right, and they're not just normal employees or contract workers like the middle class is, which she's so used to being a part of. On top of the 21% corporate tax rate you would have in some states, it ranges from 2.5% to 9.8% in Minnesota. 4 states, Alaska, Illinois, Minnesota, and Jersey, have corporate income tax rates of 9% or higher. 12 states have it below 5%. Nevada, Ohio, Texas, and Washington impose a different way of doing it. And South Dakota and Wyoming are the only states that levy neither a corporate income nor a gross receipts tax. So corporations do get taxed. But Sean, there's a bunch of companies, I thought, like Amazon, that get tax cuts. They make billions of dollars a year and they don't pay taxes on it.
That's a laugh.
That is true, okay?
Somewhat.
That is partially because of government deals, okay?
Right. Let's keep them operating in the U.S.
Like we report right here, dozens of large corporations actually pay more money to their top executives than they shell out in federal taxes in this 4-year period that's stated right here. Tesla, Netflix, Ford, and as we know, Amazon had a $5 billion tax discount and other, not tax discount, but other U.S. government subsidies that they received. First of all, that has to do with the government incentivizing things. The establishment government, which Kamala over here is a part of. She's not some outsider like Trump coming in from the outside who's going to make something different. She's been in power the last 4 years with Joe Biden, who wasn't running the country, obviously. If this was so important to her, these corporations and billionaires and millionaires getting off with tax cuts, wouldn't she have done something about it?
Yeah.
Second of all, an establishment person like her, they like these deals. Why? Because they probably get kickbacks
They do get
from these
kickbacks.
types of deals that benefit them financially.
There's an indication of combustion. Problem
Second of
solved,
all,
sir.
let's say that, okay, the millionaire and billionaires that get off and make more money, which they're just workers and they have little side companies or they're contract workers, but they don't have companies, which is probably not who she's referring to. But even if that is the case, and let's say they have certain things set up like LLCs and other things that help them pay less in tax, right? Well, that is because of their financial literacy, their financial education, and their access to information and these secrets, really, that the top wealthy people know that help them pay less tax than percentage-wise maybe what the normal person who makes $50,000 a year pays with the 22% tax. If that's the issue as well, the issue is the financial literacy, not knowing how to really, in a way, work the system and set up certain things, LLCs, how to file your taxes properly to pay less taxes. If that's the issue that's causing middle-class Americans to pay more in tax than millionaires and billionaires, at least percentage-wise, then taxing the millionaires and billionaires more is not going to solve that problem. It's education that people need about finances, about how to file taxes, about how to set up S corporations, LLCs, different things that can allow them to get ahead, get more tax breaks, write off expenses that they don't know they can write off right now. That's what's going to set them up to get ahead financially and change their situation. Not taxing the rich so then the government can possibly just give more money back to the middle and class, which we know won't happen because that money is going to go to the lower class, the people who are already getting benefits and can qualify for benefits. It's going to be these people right here in the 10% tax rate. It's not going to go to the middle class. We already know that. So that's some of the illogic that Kamala Harris is promoting with this vague economic plan that she's going to outline and going to instill, which doesn't make any sense because she's basically been in power the last 4 years and she could have instilled that with the Biden administration unless her hands were tied, which I highly doubt that, knowing that Joe Biden was really not running the country at all. Hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. I know this was more of a serious one. I kind of get sick of seeing everyone just talk about talking points and hyped up videos, which are cool to review sometimes, but this is a serious one, and I hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's Sean Daniel here, and if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to...
End of the day. This was a good one. I've seen this one, but we'll watch it again.
Hello guys, it's your boy Trace and I'm here to do a new video for you guys today. If you're new to the channel, do not forget to click the subscribe.
Murdered over 1,200 innocent Israelis, 46 Americans, took hostages. We have been clear, Israel has the right to defend itself. We've always stood up. We need the hostages returned and we need to bring an end to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. But again, the point is it's Iran is at the heart of this, and their proxies that bring disruption throughout the region. That's why being in the Situation Room as Vice President was, working with Israelis to repel the attack we saw this week. They tried it back in April, the same thing. And that's the point of being and boxing Iran in. President Trump tore up the nuclear deal that moved Iran closer to a nuclear weapon. He also allowed Iran to shoot down an American aircraft in international airspace with a tweet. And when Iranian missiles fell on troops, he called it a headache when it was traumatic brain injury. Just to be clear, we have always said we reserve the right to protect American troops, our allies in the region, and that there is consequences for Iran. So what you're seeing right now is the ability to work with our allies, the ability to make sure Iran does not further, and every administration has dealt with them.